All right, boys and girls, today we are going to talk about identifying functions. We talked about this yesterday with what it looks like when we have graphs and, or not graphs, when we have points or tables or whatever it is. And remember, when we're looking to identify functions, we want there to be only one x or only one y for each x. Every x value that exists in our table, on our ordered pairs, or whatever it is, every x has to have one y to it. Now, we can see that visually by looking at graphs. So if I am graphing a line or a function or some kind of equation on my graph, and it looks like this. I don't want to say, okay, well, is this a function? The way that I want to do that is by talking about what we call the vertical line test. The vertical line test. The vertical line test helps me to identify functions. What the vertical line test says is, the vertical line test says a graph is a function if a vertical line can be drawn anywhere on the graph and it will not go through 2 points of the graph. Okay, so it's a little bit confusing, but let's talk about this. Vertical line test. A graph is a function if a vertical line, vertical means up and down, if a vertical line can be drawn anywhere on the graph and nowhere on the graph will it touch more than one x value. So if I have my line and it goes straight up and down, I want to move this anywhere along my graph. And you see how if I move it right here, my line crosses there. Move it over here, and I draw a straight line up and down. It only crosses my graph once. Move it here, I draw a line straight up and down, only crosses my graph once. Straight up and down, straight up and down, straight up and down. Whoops, that was not where I want it to be. Straight up and down. I can move my vertical line anywhere on my graph. And if I draw a line that's straight up and down, it will only cross my line once. If it crosses my line only once, it is a function. If there's any point that crosses my line more than once, it's no longer a function. If I have a graph that looks like this. Let's have a graph that looks like this. That's okay. I'm going to vertical line test. Okay, well, right here, it only crosses once, so maybe that passes. Right here, it only crosses once, so it passes. So far, these 2 points do pass the vertical line test. This point and this point. But I don't care about those points because I want to find a point that makes me fail. Right here, this point here makes me fail the vertical line test. I have across here, and across here. This line crosses my graph 3 times. Because it crosses my graph more than once, this is not a function. I'm not looking to make the vertical line test pass. I want to try and make the vertical line test fail. I want to find the failure points for the vertical line test. The point is to see, can I make this cross more than once? If I can, it's not a function. It's a fake. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for when I have my vertical line test. So if I have a graph that looks like this, Would this be a function? Yes, this would be a function because there's nowhere that I can draw a line that goes straight up and down that fails the vertical line test. What about this? Would this be a function? This would not be a function. If I drew a line straight up and down the middle here, it would cross in multiple places. It would cross here, it would cross here, and it would cross here. That fails. I don't want to fail. Okay, so that's how we use the vertical line test to identify graphs that are functions. So, looking here at these three graphs, which of these graphs is not a function? Graph A, B, or C? Let me know, and have a great rest of your night. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you all tomorrow.